So our first mission is all about getting their chest up by taking them off of their feet, which effectively strips many of their natural weapons from them. We do this by pushing, tackling, or charging, and we'll start with the charges. Here we'll use controlled speed and contact with our partner, but we could always come flying in like a hockey or a football player. We can use our own shields as we come flying through this very dangerous zone and try to avoid taking damage from strikes. It's best to keep those shields up until you make contact with their body. Here you can see I'm covering both sides of my jaw with my arms. The top of my head is exposed, but that is the hardest part of the skull, and I'm aiming for the upper chest. When you're brand new to this, your partner can just help you out by standing there as you practice coming in faster and faster, maybe even adding a fake fall. Of course, we'll see shortly what to do once we get them down. Pushing them is a great option as long as we're ready to follow them, and wall behind them makes it even better. We may not have the power, size, or explosiveness to knock them over, so we can become attached to them in what's called a clinch. Here you can see I get both of my arms under hers and demonstrate a few gripping examples. Once we're connected to them, we don't want to lose it. Here's a front clinch. Here's a side clinch. The head can be in the front or the back. And we don't know where they're going to move or where we're going to move once we're connected. So we can end up in any of these spots, but they're all okay. Here's a clinch from the back. The head could be under the armpit or all the way in the back. Again, a few gripping examples. We can also clinch around the legs, and just like the upper body, once we get connected or are fighting for those feet, we don't want to lose it. We could end up anywhere in the front, side, or back. For people with sparring experience and good timing, I wanted to throw this one in there because it's great for ducking under a wild punch. It's easier to tackle or smack somebody when they don't see it coming, but in self-defense, they're usually paying attention to you. So giving their brain something to pay attention to before you charge in is highly recommended. A big, exaggerated movement, either high or low, can grab their attention, or even like a over-exaggerated haymaker style punch, or really any distraction to hide that charge. The more still you are, the easier it is for them to see you coming. So acting scared could be a way to keep your body moving and charge right in. Once you're familiar with this system, sometimes you'll see it's safer to put your shields up while you sit down and let them come to you. If for whatever reason we cannot keep distance or we cannot back up, tying up their arms like this with a little bit of a squeeze or pinning of the elbows to the side, we can get that clinch. I'm using my arms like antenna. The slightest movement, I'm ready to move. And as you can see, we can go to either side. Being able to battle for both arms being underneath theirs, known as double underhooks, is a great skill to have, and the first activity in the skill building video will help with that. Now that we've made it through their dangerous striking zone protected, it's time to get to this pinning position known as a cross-side pin or side control. And we do that by sending them on a nice trip. From a good charge, they'll fall, but they'll naturally want to get up, so we want to be ready to come flying in and take this pinning position. And just like with the charges, we should be ready to come in with that tackle after the push. Now, just like if a rope was tied around our ankle and we could not step anywhere with one of the feet, just a little push or a pull in any direction and we'll fall. So we can replicate that rope from any of the clinch positions, eventually getting good at keeping those ankles together or gathering those feet. As we feel ourselves falling, we can always sit straight to the floor and roll like a ball. As you go for this trip, they could turn anywhere as they try to pull their feet out. You just stick with it like a tight rope and get your takedown. We'll get into some details on how to use this position soon. If we only make it down to their knees, we can just use our leg to add some extra rope. Once we get that trip, We can hold on to those legs and almost slither up to that cross-side pinning spot. Anytime we have both of those legs, we could hold on tight and slide one knee to the other side and make it even easier to get to that spot. Here's another great way to get a trip when you're around those knees. Once you reviewed this whole course, you can always use your scrolling tools like pause, rewind, and slow motion, and review any section you wish. For ducking under the punch, a little lean and buckling of the knees, and we get the trip. The skill building activities video will teach us how to use this position, but when you're new to this, it's a good idea to put your arms in different spots when you settle into the side control so you can start getting the feel. Hips and knees are off the floor to offer more weight. If we don't go to the legs and we stay up by the waist, we can slide down just under the hips, pull them underneath us, and get the takedown. Same with the back clinch, a little scoop of the hips, pick them up, step back, and guide them down right into your cross-side pin. Another great option from there is to pick them up, turn them sideways, and get your cross-side pin. If we're not strong enough or choose not to pick them up, we can always use drags. From this side clinch, you can straighten a leg, sit straight down to your butt cheek, and roll right over into that side control position, eventually getting good at not landing on your tailbone. From the back clinch, again a straight leg, using gravity, drag them straight to the floor, right off of a butt cheek to a top position. With body clinches, you might have those double underhooks that we played with earlier, but you might not. Sometimes when you have an arm free, it's great to go high, grab some hair or top of a head, and pull for this drag takedown. This is from the front clinch. Again, a step back is helpful. Here's the same dragging takedown, but from a back clinch. Again, a big step back. As you see from our demonstration, all of these charges, trips, and drags can be done controlled. I didn't pull her hair hard or slam her hard, but you and your partner can go as hard as you can handle. If we get charged, or we don't want to hit the ground hard, or maybe we even already are on the ground, we can sit, put our shields up, and get the takedown. Here are a few examples. A training tip when you don't have a coach watching you is to film yourself and watch side by side with our example to see how close we look. A quick way to review this is to treat them as a totem pole. If you're high on the totem pole, drags. If you're middle of the totem pole, pickups and drags. If you're low on the totem pole, trips. We're getting very close to learning how to use this pinning position, but for now, cross your spines like an X or a T and become chest to chest rather than stomach to chest or stomach to stomach for now. Alright, mission 1 is accomplished. Their chest is up. Now it's time for mission 2 and put them into harmless mode.